If I let me put it straight, the day El-Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion molders in the north to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration.
Let's be realistic. Let's be clear. There's nothing like hiding sentiments. El-Rufai needs Peter Obi. It's not a matter of convincing not. He cannot even convince his kindred. El-Rufai cannot convince his local government to vote Peter Obi. Let's see. So I've seen a lot of permutations about 2027. I mean, that's how it's going to be. It's politics o'clock, really, in Nigeria. So there's going to be a lot of backstabbing. There's going to be a lot of political realignment and alignment, and it's allowed. It's allowed, really. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. If there's anything that feels like surprise to you in what has happened in the last few days with Delta State Governor defecting to the APC, well, get ready for a shocker. That will be some huge surprises, and those surprises will be most likely embedded in themes like, everyday betrayal, themes like backstabbing, themes like agreement and disagreement, as the case may be. Like it or live it, Aso Rock is unstable. The silence from the opposition about what has happened with Delta State Governor defecting, they are not still convinced that everything is APC, everything is all good. I mean, if somebody who did not have a governor, doesn't have a senator, doesn't have a House of Rep member, doesn't have anything going into an election, just less than 6 months to that major election, came out with at least 6.1 million votes, suppressed 6.1 million votes. I mean, they should be scared. They should be scared. And if they are not, if they tell that they're not scared, we're one of those, little, statements that Onanuga usually put out. We're not perturbed. Oh, we are not moved by what's going on in the opposition. Oh, don't bother yourself. Don't worry. They are moved. They are checking every single move by the opposition. Every single thing Peter Obi does, every single thing Atiku does, every single thing El-Rufai does, they are putting their tabs on those people, because those are the people who are going to actually do some disruptions. Apart from them, I really don't see any disruption. Well, except Wike would be springing up some surprises, maybe detaching himself from the APC, giving that a meeting has been held behind his back in London between Fubara and the president. So he may be angry with that, and then he says, you know what, this is not what I bargained for, and then starts to see if he can destroy the party from inside, or maybe, stay out and watch them fall like pack of cards. Having said that, there's this permutation that just cropped up, but I thought I should share with you, and maybe, just maybe, also tell you what I feel about what they said. This person actually featured on Channels Television, and his name is Juan Halliers. Now listen to what he says about 2027.
All right. On this planned coalition, and we have heard the response from the PDP Governors Forum about this coalition. They don't want it. They say, look, come and join us. We are not joining you to win. Come and join the PDP.
That's because the PDP governors, their preferred candidate for the next election is President Bola Tinubu of the APC, because of Southern solidarity. The bulk of the governors in the PDP are from the South. One of their own is in power. They can work against one of their own. It's not possible. In 2003, AD didn't feel the presidential candidate because of Obasanjo. That is the nature of Nigerian politics. When Adu also became president in 2007, a number of AMPP governors then moved into the PDP. So married the daughters. Two governors actually married his daughters to have a good footing in the PDP. It has always been like that. Now, talking about the coalition, it is still too early to predict what the outcome of that coalition will be. But I can give them some tips.
Okay.
You see, El-Rufai has a grouse against the president, a legitimate grouse, because he worked for the president. Hate him or love him, he has a basis to be angry. And he has been working assiduously to undermine the president, particularly in the Muslim North, where he's like the Khalifa to Buhari. He's like the brain box of the Muslim North. But let me give him a tip. If he really wants to see the back of the president, let me tell you for what he will do. And I think they may be on the path to really achieving that. Let El-Rufai convince the Muslim North. If he's able to do that, I know he can, he has the capacity, to look towards the South for a candidate to support. specifically the Southeast. If I let me put it straight, the day El-Rufai decides and is able to galvanize the opinion molders in the North to zero down on a P2B, for instance, as the candidate, that will be the end of the Tinubu administration.
All right.
So El-Rufai is now the guy who can convince the Muslim North. Let's not even let's not even go there. All right. They say you are as good as your last exams, or you're as good as your last results. So let's take it from the 2023 general elections. Or should we take it from there? Maybe we should take it back from 2015. Because 2015 is when we had a coalition and then El-Rufai, became a thing. Without that coalition, he wouldn't have been anything. But that's the truth. It was Obasanjo that made him minister. Before he even became anything, Obasanjo picked him up, made him minister of the FCT. That was it. And that's the truth. And then afterwards, he started looking for political relevance. And then he mustered some courage and hid under the cloak of Buhari. And, on the CPC thing, of course, they've run election and they failed severally. So the coalition happened, and then he now became governor, and then became president and all that. So should we take it from there, or maybe we should do 2023? Let's take it from, because they say you are good as your last result. That way, I also touch on his 2019 and 2015. So 2023, he ruled Kaduna up until 2023, and then he left, and Obasanjo took over. And what was his scorecard in the last 8 years of his administration in Kaduna? What was his scorecard? We all know that he rode on Buhari's back to become governor. Now he is still not nobody. He has to ride on somebody. Look at it now. What has he ever been if he's not riding on people's backs? What has El-Rufai ever been if it is not riding on people's backs? As it stands right now, Peter Obi has much more electoral value than El-Rufai 10 billion times. So it is El-Rufai that needs Peter Obi, not the other way around. If Peter Obi did not run that election alone, going to 2023 election, and then seeing his strength, these guys would have been still telling him that he's an Nollywood actor. This guy would have been telling him, oh, he's not a drop in the ocean, a drop in the sky. They are nobody. They are not nothing in the scheme of things. Let's be realistic. Let's be clear. There's nothing like hiding sentiment. El-Rufai needs Peter Obi. It's not a matter of convincing not. He cannot even convince his kindred. El-Rufai cannot convince his local government to vote Peter Obi. Let's see. You and I know that the reason why he even made that move of coalizing or maybe meeting the northern governors, because it's not the northern people that he met in 2023 to vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, where he the entire North gave him 62%. How did he get Northeast? You say he was just APC governors that he galvanized. It was APC governor, because there was a factor, there was an Atiku factor who also galvanized the PDP members in the North, because Adamawa went to PDP, of course, and most of Northeast went to PDP. So Atiku got most of his votes from the Northeast, his zone, and then parts of maybe a little bit of North Central, then Northwest. South, we are 100% sure that South did not vote him. It was Peter Obi that South voted for the most. Lagos, Rivers, and Akwa Ibom and the likes, and then the part of North Central. So on what basis would you be saying it's El-Rufai that can galvanize the North to go? Well, galvanize which North? So let's put it this way. So a northern governor who is with APC will now listen to El-Rufai, who is a former governor, to vote for Peter Obi. Does that make sense? Do you know the implication of convincing a governor, like an APC governor, to vote for the presidential candidate of another party as against his party. Do you know that he is capable of losing his own seat? Do you know he is capable of losing? You know, the gubernatorial election comes second. The presidential election comes first. And you think that if Asiwaju loses his own at first and sees the numbers, he's not going to, as a sitting president, he's not going to work against those governors. Guy, leave all these things, this permutation. See, I understand that everybody has their own perspective, but this perspective is a zero perspective. It doesn't add up. It will not work. El-Rufai does not have the capacity to galvanize anybody right now in the north. No, not his local government, not his family. Let's be clear. So don't give him powers he does not have. If he does have it, why is he going around meeting Tinubu? I mean, going about meeting Buhari, I'm meeting Atiku, I'm meeting other people, and then started putting subtle talk. I and Peter Obi can walk. Started using third parties to say we can work. Using his son. His son was tweeting the other day. Peter Obi is not a bad leader after all. After you had vilified him, said he's a ethnic bigot. After calling him names, then all of a sudden, he's now a saint. He looks good because Asiwaju is dealing with you people in the north. Come on, man. Let's not stop all this drama that we're playing. No. Do not allow. Look, I tell you for free. That thing you think El-Rufai has in the north. What is his name? Kwankwaso has that thing 10 times more. Kwankwaso, you can say these states, you can beat your chest and say these states, if Kwankwaso goes to the streets and say I want 1 million votes in Kano, he can get it. And he scored 1.4 million. What is El-Rufai's capacity? Well, has he ever run an election before? He ran an election in 2015. Go and see the numbers. And ran an election in 2019. Go and see the numbers he scored. And then while he was leaving, go and see the numbers. The margin at which APC lost. Because he became unpopular by... Why? Of course, because of the Buhari's mantra. Because of Buhari's, the number was high. But as 2019, it dropped. 2019, Kaduna, PDP was incumbent. Of course, he used the power of incumbent. But nobody in Southern Kaduna voted him in 2019. Not even in 2015. It was his Northern Kaduna that voted him. And that was the reason why he kept doing all sorts of things. And he has not stopped at it. And since he left office, the justification for this, I don't have facts to this, but you cannot be a governor of a state. Things are happening under you, and then you are not doing anything. Every day we keep hearing 10,000, 15,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000 has been killed, and always in Southern Kaduna. No one happening in Northern Kaduna because, of course, it was. Then you go and convince people in the Muslim North. It's a lie. No governor listens to on what basis would they be listening to El-Rufai? On what basis will they be listening to El-Rufai? What would El-Rufai be promising them that he let them vote for another candidate? What would that thing be? Come on, I beg. Don't even go there. He doesn't have that capacity. Nobody should give people powers that they don't have. And please, I beg you in the name of God, El-Rufai cannot win his local government if there's an election now and pitching between him and Kwankwaso in the northwest alone. Kwankwaso would trounce him 10 times. So please, that he is now fighting against Asiwaju doesn't give him the power to now start saying he's all saints. He is now all saints because he's fighting Asiwaju, or he doesn't like Asiwaju, or Asiwaju did not appoint him. No, please. I don't know what you guys think. That's my thought, but let me know what you think. So I'll be in the comment section to actually share my thought further. Thank you so much.